Bell rings, get in the square circle, it's time. The Boxing Biz podcast is live. Call in and state your mind, but get checked if you're stepping out of line. Jab right hand combination. We're interviewing fighters from every nation. The phone lines are busy. Have some patience. Your 3 minutes are up. No more conversations. The Boxing Biz, where we handle our business. Handle your business. We handle our business. Where we handle our business. Welcome back to another episode here on the Boxing Biz podcast show. And we're doing the watch along for the open workouts because, give me a second, got to hit this water. Oh, man. I was just doing some shadow boxing right now because I'm souped up. That we're getting a good weekend of fights. Again, we love looking at these public workouts. Speaking about public workouts, man, shout out to Jake Paul, bro, an MVP for making history and having open workouts alongside pro fights. Yo, this was epic. And this just goes to show you how Jake Paul and his crew think, man. It's surprise, surprise, surprise. You know what I mean? Every time. And he's being innovative as usual. He understands media. Surprise. Pro fights with open workout. I thought it was a great idea. Why somebody didn't think about that before just goes to show you, man, there's a new breed of promotion. And Jake Paul's representing that new breed. And, of course, shout out to Nikisa and the whole team, right? What else do we got? Also, man, Shakur Stevenson and Mike Coppinger interview. You know, it was just comical. It's worth a little chat. You know, it's not like it was a long, intense chat. You know, I mean, interview where you learned so much about Shakur. No, it was a quick interview, but for a second there, I was like, yo, what's really going on, right? But the jabs that Shakur Stevenson was throwing Coppinger was pretty funny. I mean, you know, Coppinger was a good sport about it. So shout out to Cop, you know, for being a good sport about it, not, you know, losing his cool or whatnot. You know, you got to roll with the punches, right? You're in the game of boxing. And shout out to Mike for being a good sport. But, yeah, man, Shakur was letting him have it. And also, man, shout out to Ariel Helwani. Great interview on the Ariel Helwani show. Goes to show Shakur Stevenson, too, how much he's come along as a fighter, as a person, and some of his plans into the future. He was able to divulge a little bit about what might and might cannot be for Shakur Stevenson's future. You know, I think he has one more fight with Matchroom, if I'm not mistaken, and he'll be a free agent. We don't know who he's going to be signing with. You know, it could be anybody, right? Shakur Stevens is a businessman as well, right? And he says, as long as it makes sense, as long as it makes business, right? Business sense, I'm willing to work with a few of those promoters. And, you know, Oscar De La Hoya was mentioned. You know, Eddie Hearn, he respects. And, of course, he had a meetup with Big Bag, the champ, Turkey Al-Sheikh had a, you know, short meeting with Shakur, as he described. He didn't want to get too into it, but, you know, his options are obviously pretty open, and especially if he makes this statement, right, with Cepeda. Shout out to my boy James Valdez in the building. Says, just came in to smash that like button here and on Facebook. So look to you, champ. Champ. That's what I'm talking about, my brother. Thank you for supporting the show. You already know how we get down.
Let's go, champ. You feel me?
Yeah, shout out to the Facebook family, everybody who just tapped in, man. First thing you should have done is hit that subscribe and like. Well, if you're subscribed already, you know, bypass that. Just go for the notification bell because you probably didn't hit it yet. So make sure you hit that so you get the ding every time we come on. And we're watching the public workouts, right, for the Berlanga, Sheeraz, Stevenson, Cepeda, you know, double headliner. Berlanga's, Berlanga was on the Breakfast Club, too, I think, this morning. Berlanga knows how to promote, man. He's been promoting pretty good. I've been giving him his dabs, right, the way he's been promoting this fight, you know, and keeping it New York, so to speak, you know what I mean? Give me a second. Lemon water. Excuse me. But yeah, what else we got? We got the MVP. Yeah, MVP did their thing. You know what? And I don't know if anybody caught that, right? Bringing in pro fights into the MVP show, because I didn't know about it. It's not like something that was, televised or, I don't know, promoted to that extent where people knew about it. I didn't know about it. Maybe you guys did. I didn't actually know about it until it was going on, and I was, watching the workout, the public workout. And then I start to see fighters fighting, and I'm like, what's going on here? And sure enough, there was boxing matches going on in the open workout. And it was pretty cool to see, man, because, I'm familiar with one of these fighters in specifically, right? New Jersey stand up. So shout out to Elise Soto, who, is pretty freaking tough, bro. I haven't been back at the gym. I used to train at her dad's gym. Shout out to Danny. Great guy. But just to see her evolution is crazy, man. I mean, you would see her little with gloves on, punching bags, and now she's in there really getting it in for real. And she was the aggressor in the fight that she had, and she won. Obviously, a good tough fight for her against Colleen Davis. Davis is a dog. You know what I mean? If you go back and see this fight, bro, I mean, this was a dog fight. I was like, holy smokes. And it was 3-minute rounds. This is 3-minute rounds, y'all. I was like, wait a minute. Like, okay. They're starting off, because I'm pretty sure, this is probably, if not, one of their first 5. Well, actually, it was a debut. It was a debut for, I believe. Was it a debut for these two girls? I would have to go back, but I know that they don't have too many fights in their box rec, and Elise Soto definitely has fought before. Yeah, she won the split decision. That's all I know. It was a tough fight. Colleen Davis, again, this type of promotion by MVP is giving us the opportunity to get more and more familiar with fighters, especially early in their careers. It's something that I think needed to happen. You get this attention, early on in your career. We get to see these female fighters develop the way we've seen our male boxers develop, right? Coming in from the Olympics, coming in from the amateurs. So a great way to promote, great way to use the time, right? And obviously, if you're going to put on fights during open workouts, it's not like you're putting out major cards. You're just giving more exposure to the stable of fighters that you got or that you're bringing on. And just a great way to use that marketing machine. So big shout out again to MVP. Again, you got to give credit when credit is due, and they're doing it, champ. I mean, the hate's got to stop. They're doing it. So you go back to, so shout out to James for being first in line on the Chatty Patty. And if you're tuning in, like I said, appreciate y'all, man. And make sure that you hit that like and tell a friend to tell a friend. We're talking boxing right now. The public workout's live right now. You can catch it on the Ring channel, right? Ring Magazine channel on YouTube. You could also catch it on the Turkey Ala Sheik. Yo, Turkey got 3.61 million subscribers. Shout out to Turkey Big Bag Ala Sheik. Big Bolsa. He out here killing them, bro. Socials is slapping right now. It's big, man. Turkey. I mean, he's earned it for sure, bro. He's been putting on hell of a good fights. And I know you guys see that, Japan has been actually making a wave out here too, man. As you can see, their fighters are being showcased. They're being showcased right now. Got messages coming in right now. What's up, champs? Shout out to Facebook family. I think I just had. I gotta change my setup too, man, so that I can actually see some of the messages coming in from the Facebook family. I'm still tweaking it. You know what I'm saying? I'm still tweaking it, guys. So if I don't see your messages right away, I duly apologize, right? I'm putting everything on the visibility mode right now so I can see it. There we go. I think let's see. Actually, is there any? Well, there's nobody as of yet. All right, shout out to the Facebook family for sure. I got another message coming in from messengers. I gotta refocus all this. Shout out to Anthony Centron. Says, "Yo, wasn't you in the Boxing Voice podcast?" Yeah. Yes, I was. So, yeah, like I was saying, the Japanese fighters are. You're seeing that the push, right? They're getting good push. So Reito Tsumi, one of the fresh new talents coming out of Japan, and great way to get that American exposure, bro. We're the biggest market, man. America is the biggest market. I think sometimes as an American people, we forget how much we got it, man. We got power, we got leverage, right? We are a big market. Some of the biggest consumers of, any product in the world. Ask China about it, you know what I mean? We're probably the biggest consumer of their products. And I know Japan is not China, but I'm just saying on that side. So we're a huge market, and we can get behind a guy, right? We can truly get behind a guy, and if you're good, man, look at Inui, the monster. He's super, super popular. And, of course, you got to be knocking guys out like Inui. You can't just be getting popularity out of nowhere. Whoa. What was that right there? That was definitely the Facebook notification that came in. Shout out to... Yeah, shout out to my man Anthony, bro. Anthony Centron, part of the Facebook family. Yeah, just answering back. Just answering back to the homie. Haven't heard from him in a long time. Shout out to Anthony too, man. We used to spar. This guy's a light guy, bro. This guy was a lightweight. If I'm not mistaken, he must have been like 140 pounds or something. Probably even less. This guy used to get in there with heavyweights. Shout out to Anthony Centron. There it goes again. I'm gonna have to turn. I hope you guys are not hearing the ding. The ding out there. I know there's like a strong message. A strong message notification sound that comes on. I hope I'm the only one here listening to it. But again, shout out to Anthony Centron, man. He's a dog in the ring, and I hope you're doing okay, bro. That's when we were over there in Patterson. Shout out to Terrific, Coach T. Shout out to the whole crew out there, man. We used to have good times in that gym. Sure, okay. All right, so let's get back to it then, man. Again, shout out to the Facebook family, tapping it in, tappity tap, public workout. Let's see who we got next coming into the ring. Let's see who we got. I like to think that Morrell, is coming back with a vengeance. He knows that he's, they got a lot of investment in him, and he's gonna have to come back and obviously put on a statement, right? I'm back in business. David Benavidez matchup was just something that, wasn't attainable at the moment, right? Some even might say that he took it too early, but he's a dog. He went in there. He ain't get knocked out, and now he's back. He's always had good movement, too. If you really think about how the Cuban style of boxing is, those guys are always moving pretty good. Look at that, rangy. Got the jab. And he's settling into this 175-pound division, man. Look at him. He's even looking bigger. You're probably like, how you know that, dude? I'm a cyborg. Straight sized him up right through the screen. Compared him to Ronnie Shields behind him and shit. Yeah, right. Yeah. So David Morrell taking on Imam. And we're going to get through this workout first. Obviously, you know, we're going to be talking Shakur Stevenson, a little bit about what he's been doing. You know, I was giving Berlanga mad props for his promotion into this fight. And, you know, Shakur Stevenson, he's been moving along the right channels, right? He's doing the right things. Hope to see him, too, in the Breakfast Club, unless I missed it already. But nonetheless, you know, the promotion's good. I think he carries himself very well. Shakur Stevenson, and he's from the lot of those, like, you know, like Bud. You know, I don't want to talk too much garbage. I want to just show and prove. Let me do my job. Let me handle business, which is pretty dope. You know, Terence Crawford opened up, too. And you see more and more shit-talking with the Canelo Alvarez. Probably the most shit-talking I've seen Crawford do. So it's pretty dope to see it every once in a while. I'm not saying that, you know, what you're doing ain't enough. I'm just saying that every now and then, you know, as a fighter, you can go outside of just the normal channels you're being pushed through and just kind of, you know, use your platform. Talk a little shit. Maybe you don't want to talk shit, but just talk your shit, right? You don't got to be bad-mouthing another fighter, but people want to hear you. It's the way the business works. And just helps to push the fight. But, yeah, great interview for Shakur Stevenson on the Ariel Helwani and the funniest, and we're gonna tap into it. I'm telling you that Coppinger interview I thought it was a joke, but the way he was talking was crazy. David Morrell, you know what? We'll tap. Matter of fact, we're working between the actual workout and some boxing talk. Obviously, if you guys are tapping in right now, you can see the public workout for the Berlanga Hamzah Sheeraz fight that's happening this Saturday. And it's a new location, too. I don't know if that hurts the ticket sales or not, right? But it's going to be at the Louis Armstrong Stadium in Queens. And I believe this is the first time there's going to be a boxing match there. So, again, I haven't been there. Never been to the Louis Armstrong Stadium. Maybe we could take a look at it together, too. Just take a look at it. You know, I know all of my New Yorkers probably know where it is. But I'm pretty sure if you're living out the state, you might not know. It's in Corona, Queens. Ooh, okay. Damn, it is. It's like a tennis court, y'all. I'm going to have to put this up. Y'all got to see this. Wow. I mean, the style stadium is crazy. Yeah, I gotta show you guys this. Listen, if you're catching us on the actual live on YouTube, you'll be able to see it. But if not, if you're on our sound, remember you guys can listen to us on sound. We are on iHeartRadio, all those major podcasting hosting platforms. So you could always check us out there, download one of the MP files, and take along with you. In case you have no service, you can listen to the actual podcast. So we're on there. Let me show you this stadium, man. Look at this. The stadium's pretty cool, man. If you see, man, it's like, you know, theater style, but like maximized, right? It's theater style, but maximized. I'm actually going to maximize. Matter of fact, I'm going to try to see if I can maximize this so you guys can see the entire screen here. This is pretty dope, honestly. Let me see if I can actually widen it out. Yeah. You see that seating, man? Just want to show you guys the seating area. I mean, I love seating like this. This is theater style seating, and it just looks like it's been made like that also because of the tennis, right? The way the tennis court is small, but just incredibly dope for those that are you know, behind and up and higher. I mean, the higher you go, the better view you got, right? Like you're not like buying tickets for this fight is pretty dope, and they were giving out. I think Amanda Serrano was giving out 200 tickets for the bully something. I forget, but they were giving out tickets to this fight. So if you got an opportunity to go check this fight out, man, go support New York. You know, you got Berlanga from New York City. You got the Bruv, you know what I'm saying, from New Jersey, Shakur Stevenson. So it's a tri-state thing, man. So Jersey too, man. Go show your support. You know what I mean? Let them know we travel. You feel me? We don't just stay at the Prudential. You know what I'm saying? We travel. Let me shrink this back down, though. There we go. Yeah, but pretty dope spot. Pretty dope spot. I'm going to be here with you guys, so I'm not going to make it out there. I would have, but I'll be here covering the fight live. Tell me what you guys think, too, man, about this stadium. And if you're from New York or the tri-state close by, if you're going to be checking this out, it's going to be pretty dope. Nobody's going to be able to be in front of you. You know how sometimes you'll get like somebody taller than you in front of you? And then you got to be breaking your neck to the left and right to try to see whether it be a movie, anything. I don't think there's going to be a problem with this type of stadium. Definitely not. So, looking good. And let's see what's going on with Morrell. Well, Morrell's still talking right now. Obviously, we're not listening to it. I mean, we can together if you guys like. Actually, I don't know if you guys could hear that. I was going to put the actual video on, see if you guys could get the volume at least. So, you know, YouTube just misunderstands me sometimes, guys. Literally, I've been back and forth in the last month with a couple of disputes just because, you know, it's the way their algorithm works. No shade towards YouTube. YouTube's just trying to handle what they do, and AI really is what's going on, you know, and handling stuff and picking things off. Obviously, I'm not doing anything to, you know, take their content. Only thing I do is break it down and do what I do, analyze. So, but they've been cool. They lift these copyright things off pretty fast too. So it's just a pain sometimes to go through it. So hopefully I get recognized a little bit more, guys. You know, you guys control that, man. The more you share the program, the more subscribers, the more I become, you know, according to them, to numbers, a figure in the sport, then I'll be able to you know, do more like this and not be having to go through disputes. So if you're just tuning in, if you're tuning in, just make sure you hit that like, subscribe. Again, appreciate you guys tapping in. We're watching the public workouts right now for the Berlanga, Sheeraz, and Stevenson Cepeda double headliner that's going on this Saturday at the Louis Armstrong Stadium. And it looks like it's going to be a dope stadium. So let's get it. Let's see who. And we still, they're going to bring in, I think, this Imam guy. I've been wanting to see who Morrell's going to fight. Because, honestly, again, he's Russian from Australia. And, you know, he's been knocking guys out. And I just, you know, every now and then they throw these dark horses in the mix. But I guess he might have came out already. Did Morrell? No, he hasn't come out yet. Don't tell me they're gonna bring out Subriel and not the Russian dude. Yo, the Russian dude don't even get an open workout. What's wrong with y'all? Damn, they ain't give the Russian dude nothing. They're trying to surprise David Morrell. That's fishy. That's fishy as fuck, bro. Damn. That's fishy, bro. Tell me that ain't fishy. Bro, this is fishy right here. Bro, they didn't bring out your boy Imam. So how are we supposed to know how he even moves if I never saw him fight? Try to look up Imam Kadiev and try to get a fight. Try to get a fight on YouTube about him. I mean, I didn't try it, but again, I just don't know who Imam is. Imam. Got to put on my... there you go. Wow, he does have highlights. Maybe I should have done a little more searching. The next Beterbiev? Holy cow. Are you kidding me? They calling this guy the next Beterbiev? Oh, shit. What the hell is David Morrell about to get into right now? That's crazy. That is crazy. I just pulled them up. First video I see is the next Better Biev. what they throwing at David Morrell, man. That's messed up. Cut West in the building. Damn. One of the homies. What's going on, Cut? Shout out to you, my brother. Yeah, can't hear. Yeah, it was I had it off, but I'm gonna actually turn it on again right now while I talk. It'll be in the background. Shout out to James Valdez. I think Cut was talking about the video, the public workout. You know, we got it live. I'll throw it on whenever we want to hear something. Whenever they're interviewing them. Right now, I let La Cobra and the broadcasting team handle their handle, right? Let's go, my man Dio. Shit, that's right. Shout out to my man Dio. Let's go, champ. We working.
Let's go, champ. You feel me?
We covering this public workout, watching it along with you guys. We got a lot to talk about too. We're throwing in these topics in between these public workouts. We got Shakur Stevenson, and you know what? Let's turn on the actual interview. I like that. We're gonna start turning on the actual interview. Let's see what.
22 victories, 22 knockouts. How important is to have that tool right there in your pocket for Saturday? El orgullo de Maternillo está con nosotros. Gracias por estar aquí. Bueno, acabamos de ver un excelente show de lo que tú puedes hacer, pero no.
We already know what. We already know what Subriel does.
Este elemento, ¿qué tan importante es tenerlo en el bolsillo para el sábado?
Mira, para serte honesto, los negocios solo son números.
Solo son números.
Estoy ansioso de enseñar y demostrar la sorpresa que les tengo.
Those are just numbers. I am very
Damn, he got a
anxious
surprise
and
for
very
us, bro.
Anticipating the kind of show that I'm going to bring on Saturday. Well, don't leave me hanging. No me dejes aquí colgando. ¿Qué clase de sorpresa nos espera? What kind of surprise is waiting for us? Give me a little hint. Dame un poquito de eso.
No, creo que es simple. Ando new.
That's it.
Damn, he said in the new. We'll see about that, champion.
Quiere saber si todavía puedes boxear, especialmente cuando estás trabajando con alguien que le gusta estar en la distancia. We want to know if you can actually handle somebody that likes to be in the distance. What do you have for somebody like that? ¿Qué tienes para alguien así?
Pues mira, yo realmente tengo un solo estilo. Todos lo saben, aguerrido. Al que le gusta el fan.
It's the same style. We know what the style is.
Dispuesto a mantener un ritmo de pelea por 2 asaltos como
Yeah, he's got a gritty ass style. I don't hate.
no soy.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not hating on Subriel's style. I just want him to get a little bit more creative with his style. That's all.
Fans love it. And, you know, I am here to actually implement my style. The question is, can somebody like Puello withstand the kind of power that I bring in? I am not Sandor Martin. I'm nobody like that. I'm definitely bringing some serious power. So we'll see. And he insists in the new. Thank you very much. Muchas gracias. Feliz tarde.
Bro, Subriel Matias, it's not like we hating on Subriel Matias' style, right? But, like, these come forward fighters, man, and when you're stepping up in competition, right, or you're facing guys that know how to box, you gotta get creative, bro. He's talking about he has a surprise, you know, easier said than done. We're gonna see how he can work it, bro. He's a bad dude. Subriel Matias is a bad mofo, bro. And you know, it just takes a little bit of more creativity in his approach. And he's going to have to be very careful not to get countered, bro. Remember, this is DR versus Puerto Rico, champ. This is going to get crazy. And if you in the city, if you in New York, oh, man, I could imagine Washington Heights going to be going crazy for La Vispa. You know what I'm saying? The boogie down, you're going to be going crazy for Berlanga. But Brooklyn, right? He from Brooklyn, though. But still, it's gonna be a fight that Subriel Matias is gonna have to be creative. So let's see what this new what this new thing is that he's bringing. He's gonna need it, bro. He's gonna need it. Alberto Puello's been doing good, bro. I mean, to get a win over Gary Antoine Russell is not easy. It's not an easy task, bro. Not easy. Shout out to Cut West. Back in the chatty patty says, did Turkey ever clarify what the fuck he means about the ring getting smaller as the fight goes on and how he can pull something like that off. Nah, bro, he was playing around, man. He was messing with Shakur, man. He was messing with him. Turkey Big Bag Al Sheik, he like one of us, man. He a boxing fan, so he goes in there. He's got his own thoughts, right? But thing is, he got the big bag to pull it off. He could literally have that shit built if he wanted to, which that shit would be crazy. I'll be honest with you. It was a joke. I don't know if he would ever even build something like that. I don't think that's something that sounds like futuristic and techie, like for the future. Like, let's keep it traditional. But imagine a ring keeps closing, bro. Like automatically closes. You wouldn't even have to it was just like a cube, right? You know how just kind of move it around and reshape it. The thing would just close in on the fighters. That would be some serious stuff. If we could add new rules to the game of boxing, that would be crazy. Listen, at the end of the day, just like anything else, right? If you want to agree on a hydration clause, I think hydration clauses are more dangerous than if we had a closing ring. Like, you know what I'm saying? If you got a closing ring, it's just a matter of okay, are you agreeing to fight in this type of ring? And, how much am I getting paid? Am I getting paid more because I'm fighting in this? I'm like, what's going on? I think things can happen, Bro, we were calling, things like Jake Paul crazy a few years ago. We just keep calling the new crazy. That's what happens, man. That's why a lot of you get left behind in the dust. Because I got to move forward with the times, man. Can't get stuck in your old ways. But it was fake, Cut West. Fake, but not a bad idea, given if there were some, people that would like to do that. I mean, you could always have the ring close in and open. Like, I don't know. Maybe I'm getting too futuristic. Maybe I'm getting too excited about the notion of having a shrinking ring. But I see that, there's room for new in everything. Let's go back to the interview inside.
Pero lo que no vemos en esos intangibles. Vamos a hablar de qué tan profundo tú tienes que en realidad entrar en tu alma, en tu espíritu guerrero.
Everybody keeps telling Puello that he has to have the guts.
Mucho llevar el arte del boxeo, dale que no me dan, pero creo que un oponente como el que tendré este 12 de julio va a sacar la verdadera avispa que traigo por dentro y estoy preparado para eso.
Boys say he's got the bee within.
Having an opponent like Subriel Matias on Saturday is going to bring the real wasp from within me to take that win on Saturday. And of course, it's a very important moment for you. You come
Hell yeah, it's important.
Wins, all by decision. Very, very difficult. You actually took those wins from the last minute, but you're in Puerto Rican land. How important is it for you to decide that towards you, to sway the pendulum on your favor? Vas a estar obviamente en terreno boricua. Vamos a estar aquí en la cola del pan. ¿Qué tan importante es llevar ese
What you
pendulum
talking about, terreno? There's just as much Dominicans in New York as there is Puerto Ricans.
Voy a estar recibiendo el apoyo de todo ello. Yo sé que va a ser una guerra y vamos a echar la guerra.
Yo, Prima didn't know what she was talking about.
Territory, but it's also Dominican
That's right.
Because there's a lot of Dominicans here, so I know I'm
a lot of Dominicans.
Of all the Dominican people. But with that being said,
bro's about to get crazy.
You need to have them come and support you. Así que te doy la oportunidad para que tú llames a tu gente de allá de la Bella Quisqueya a que venga.
Bueno, hacerle el llamado nuevamente a todo el dominicano acá.
Bro, this is gonna be nuts, man. Yo, I'm telling you guys, bro, the city's gonna be mad. The city's going to be mad. There's going to be a lot of people coming out. And I really do hope so, bro. I really do hope that even though it's a new stadium and, probably not as familiar as the Madison Square Garden and Barclay, I hope that this can be a new setting. I love the seating. And you're going to get people coming out, bro. Boris, Dominicanos, come out, man. Show some support. I didn't even check out the tickets, too, man. How much are the tickets to this fight? I'm pretty sure we go to Ticketmaster and shit. And check these out. We'll be able to see what's available right now, right? Let's see what we got. If we type it in right now. And if you guys are tapping in with us, make sure that you tap that like button. And of course, we appreciate each and every one of you guys. This is the way we grow the show. And I can't say it enough. I know sometimes y'all like, yo, why don't we saying it again? That's because I got to say it because y'all don't do it. I need y'all. Right? Let's see what we got here. I think we got everything. All right. Who are they bringing now? I'm doing like a billion things at once. Give me 2 segundos, guys. Oh, what the hell? Oh, I had paused it. I paused the video. Apologies. Okay. Ryan Hong on the Chatty Patty says, brother, what are your sleeping hours like? Damn, Ryan Hong trying to Sandman me and shit. He about to pop up, nightmare style. You on some Freddy Krueger shit? It's like, nah, Ryan. I don't know, man. Depending on how much work I got, I try to be in bed, by 11, latest. Sometimes it carries out, but yeah, that's usually what I try to do. I try to get, between 6-8 hours of sleep, depending on how things are, but that's what it looks like for me, champ. I don't know. How about you? I know the UK is a little different. You know what I mean? You got 5-hour difference. You got Hamzah Sheeraz in the ring, a.k.a. the praying mantis, a.k.a. I hit you from 5 feet away. Look, there's no doubt that Hamzah Sheeraz has skill, okay? We gave him a lot of shit for the Carlos Adames fight, but before he lost, everybody was on the Sheeraz train. Stop lying. Everybody was high on him. Yeah, Hamzah. Carlos Adames gives him a rough one. And look, he should have lost, right? According to everybody. Hey, but, he's in those shoes, man. Whether or not you think he got a gift, he got it. Get past that. Let's see what he got tonight. Because win or lose, if Hamzah shows up to fight, doesn't get knocked out, and it's one of those burners, you know what I mean, where it's back and forth and it's a gritty. I'm gonna love it. I'm not gonna either guy gives me a great show. I'm not doing it, bro. I'm not doing it. We gotta be better than that, boxing fans, because UFC fans, they don't do that to their fighters. We be wilding. I'm telling you. Let's see what Hamzah. I mean, we know what Hamzah got. He got a good jab. Andy Lee's training him. We know Andy Lee. We know we know what kind of style he had, And he's gonna take it. He's gonna take Hamzah and use all his attributes, bro. Can't say it enough. That's why this fight with Berlanga, we're gonna see a lot of range from Hamzah. We know Berlanga got the power, bro. He's gonna be very, very, very watchful, Hamzah, of that power. He's not jumping into the fire, bro. And if he does, he's gonna surprise the shit out of me. Let's see what we got. In the meantime, matter of fact, hold on. Didn't want to chew gum online. On air. So apologies. Even though that gum is good. Shout out to Nero gum. I don't know if you guys ever had that. But it's pretty good. Helps with concentration and energy, vitality, and all that other good shit. I'm not too big on supplements, but whenever you get something good, you just gotta, you know what I'm saying? Just gotta do it. Cut West says, oh, okay, LOL. I was about to say, yeah, champy. That shit was not real, that shrinking ring. Look at Hamzah's. Look at Hamzah's right now. Matter of fact, I'm going to throw it on. Fuck it. YouTube's got to respect, man. Stop playing with me. YouTube's got to respect. You see how my man moving right now? Look at him. We doing this. Look at Hamzah, right? Look at Andy Lee. Is that stick. He's making him use the stick. Every time he has throws a combination, he ends up with the stick. You know what I'm saying? And what that's going to create is going to create enough timing for Hamzah to react to Berlanga's aggression. Watch how he keeps the stick out. Watch. Look, boom. He always has Hamzah coming back with the lead hand a little bit more out. He doesn't have it close. Every time he throws his combination, he doesn't bring him back straight to the chin. The right hand is holding the phone for sure, but that left hand is a little more out. Sort of like the Lennox Lewis. Remember Lennox Lewis, the way he throws his jab, the way he teaches it. You know, his jab is a little more extended. You know? Boom, he throws it right from here. Boom, boom, boom. And of course, the uppercut. Berlanga's gonna have to watch that uppy. You see how he ends out with the stick? Look at the combination. That left hand's always ready to paw out, you know, stop anything coming and create the distance. That's Hamzah's best bet. Fighting this fight, you know, in the close range is danger zone for him, bro. Super dangerous. That's gonna be up to Berlanga to try to get by that long ass jab. You know, it doesn't suit him, bro. You know, things could be said. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. But in all reality, you gotta win. So I don't see Hamzah taking too many risks. You know, Berlanga's been known to take risks. You know, when he fought Coceres, you know, that was risky what he did, getting into a firefight, you know. Thing is, we seen Berlanga go down and get back up. And we could say that he has a chin, right? He's never been knocked out. But there's always that first time, man. And, you know, getting kind of crazy sloppy, that could work against him for sure, bro. For sure. And I'll bring up the Matt Coceres, bro. The Matt Coceres fight. Matter of fact, I'll bring it up now. You know, that was a tough opponent Berlanga had. And I'm not saying he slept on him, but you got knocked down. You got knocked down in that fight. Let's see if I can bring it. And I think that was Berlanga's first time getting knocked down too, man. Look at this left hook. Matter of fact, I'll bring it on the stage right now. For everybody that's tapping in and you're only listening, we're bringing up the video of the knockdown that Berlanga had when he was first knocked down by Coceres. And Coceres, like I said, he was a veteran, strong, tough. But if you get into these firefights, it can be bad, bro. Ryan Hong says, Hamzah is smoking Berlanga like a joint. Damn. He say he gonna do him like a freaking... All right, well, let me bring this up right now since you guys want to keep ragging on Berlanga. I don't know what I just did, but I'll remove that. How I added myself on the stage. That was goofy. That was goofy goof. Where is it? What the helly? Trying to bring this up for y'all. Oh, there we go. I had it all along, guys. It's just that the video shifted over. There we go. All right, so let's take it back. Look at the way he overstepped Berlanga. If you're noticing, this is Berlanga just letting everything go, right? Forget about guard, forget about, you know, being cautious. It's just, I want to knock you out. And remember, he was knocking guys out, right? And sometimes we could become victim to that. I know Wilder being a perfect example. We could become victim to our knockout power. We can get careless. We can rely on it too much. That's why this Hamzah fight for Berlanga is also important, right? You know, Canelo being the top of the top, but what can he do with the guys that are in the lower levels, right? Putting Canelo as elite, pinnacle. How can he do against these other guys? Where do we put Hamzah? Again, everybody was high on Hamzah. Everybody was high on Hamzah. Look at this shot. This is overstepping, champ. Watch. This is what overstepping looks like. Boom. Boom. Now, it was a timed shot, obviously. You know, it was shot for shot, really. So it was a really awkward way to get hit. It's these punches that hurt the most, right? That's what they say, the unexpected ones. Because Berlanga landed solid. Look at the solid shot. Boom. Boom. Veteran move by Coceres, bro. It was almost like he got, you know, look exactly where Berlanga actually catches him too. Berlanga caught Caceres, as Caceres was shifting his weight out of the velocity of the punch. The punch was coming in, but Caceres was already stepping out to the left, meanwhile throwing that right-hand combo. So I'll explain this to you while I raise the volume. So it's like this, right? You shift over. That hook's coming in on this side. You shift over, right? So you're moving away from it, right? Or it's coming in on this side. So you're moving away. You're throwing that right hand. And it's like you took mustard off the punch that you were getting hit with, right? Caceres took the mustard off that sandwich by moving with that and then leaning over and throwing his own right hand. I'm just saying, if you see this, got to be careful. And Hamzah, again, has, reach advantages. I think being a taller fighter, you have leverage. You're punching down. There's just a lot of, this is not going to be an easy fight for Berlanga. I'm trying to tell y'all, man. We can, fighters are always going to say they can do this, they can do that. I'm going to knock them out, all this stuff. Sorry, guys. This is not going to be so easy to get knocked out in this fight. Both these guys, unless Berlanga, and this is boxing, you could always land one shot. But nah, there's too much to lose on this fight for it not to be like one of those fights that either goes into like a split decision or shit, man, you just never know. You might go into a draw. All right? Let me take this off. You just don't know. Stop that screen. And we'll go back to the actual public workout. Because we did kind of turn away from it right now. Now we got Berlanga in the ring. Berlanga looks in shape too, man. I seen him this morning on the Breakfast Club. Berlanga was, I think he got some new teeth. Or maybe he been had them. Bro, this guy's grill was white as hell. But I don't know if he had just gotten those. I don't know. Something different about his teeth. I don't know. I hope he didn't get that recently during his camp, man. Getting dental work. I don't know if that's the smartest thing to do while you're about to jump into a huge fight. But anyway, he's in the ring with Junior. He's been in good spirits too. I mean, I guess it comes from the confidence, right? You got confidence. He's really confident that he's gonna knock out Hamzah. I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it. This is gonna be a tough fight. And again, both fighters have something to prove, bro. Power can only take you so far. We learned that with Wilder, bro. I mean, a lot of guys, that have had power that come over the years. I'm not saying that he relies totally on it, but I want to see some skills. I want to see some real boxing, right? He's gonna have to too. Because again, Hamzah's saying that he's gonna stay head to head with him. I'm not seeing that either. Eventually, they are gonna get into a firefight. I think because it's so emotionally fueled. Yeah, we are gonna get some good exchanges. But if they want to win, man, they got to do the right thing. Each of them, they got their own specific plan they got to follow. Ryan Hong says it's gonna be bad. Damn. Well, let's listen to Berlanga right now. See what he's saying. He said he locked in.
When we do this open workout, it's a great amount of fun. We had family in the ring here. Who was that little man that was walking around?
That's my baby Chosen. That's nice. Chosen Berlanga.
You've been teaching him a little bit.
Yeah, he's learning something. He loves boxing. Yeah. What can I say?
Well, talk to me about what obviously you're having fun in this open workout, but what your intentions are on Saturday. It's been very calm leading up so far, but as the days get closer, things get more intense. How are you feeling as we're just days away now?
Just locked in, man. I'm excited. Yeah. I'm excited. I'm back home in my city. Tomorrow's the press conference. So every day, as we get closer to the fight, is more I'm getting locked in mentally, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Because I want to perform. I want to look good. I want to shine. Superstar status, you know what I'm saying? Sharp, look amazing.
Damn, I wonder how his weight cut is, man. Licking his lips a lot. That weight cut's tough, bro. It's the first fight.
Fuck Oscar De La Hoya. Fuck you. I'm going to see you tomorrow. We're gonna smack the shit out of you tomorrow. So.
Okay, then. Well, let's talk about the fight itself.
Fuck Oscar.
There you go. The fight itself.
Fuck Oscar.
On Saturday.
That's
you're gonna use
crazy.
your hands against
Yo,
Hamzah Sheeraz.
him and Oscar
Fuck
been
Sheeraz
beefing.
too.
Any last message for him?
He's a fucking muppet.
He's a muppet.
With the UK one. Okay, I like
He's a
that.
muppet. He's a muppet.
What would y'all say in New York? Not Muppet. What would you say?
Oh, he's a dick eater.
Oh, okay, never mind. Hey, I appreciate you. Edgar Berlanga, one half of your main event. You'll see you on
Yeah,
Saturday.
that's crazy. Oh man,
Let's go.
he said,
Dig deep.
that's
Dig
funny.
deep. Couldn't just let him get.
Yo, Muppet. Call him Muppet Master. He looks in shape, though. Yeah, you're right. Ryan Hong says, man looks in shape, to be fair. Yeah, no, he looks in shape, bro. I wasn't trying to emphasize the licking the lips so much. I'm just saying that I can't stress it enough how hard it is to go through these weight cuts, right? And sometimes, you don't know if it's really impacting a fighter or not, whether it is or isn't negatively. You just see the signs of what it is to do a weight cut, licking lips, eyes a little caved in, you don't have enough liquids, because that's what you're pulling liquids. So it's always the first fight to me, guys that got to make weight, unless you're literally walking around in that weight, which would be the healthiest, right? Because you got guys that cut way too much weight to get into these lower weight classes just to get an advantage on fight night, right? To be the bigger man. I think that would be better for guys. If guys were walking around at a certain weight, that whether it be 175 or whatever, be 10 pounds, within 10 pounds of that weight comfortably, I think those would be like true per divisional weight matchups, right? Like it would really matter. Not matter, but it would really count for that weight. Some of these guys just too much, bro. Way too much. Yeah, so in the meantime, though, man, if you guys didn't catch the Mike Coppinger interview, that was pretty funny. But let me just put up this highlight, man, of Imamov Karayev. I just needed to see this guy with you guys live just to see if maybe I'm missing something, man, because I didn't see this guy fight. So let's take a look at, a quick highlight, right? Just to see how my man Imam moves, to see if they're really trying to set up my man Morel, because, damn, Morelli, that's messed up. Let's see this highlight. I don't know what he just did right now, but it looked like he punched a hole in somebody's back. Damn, look at that. They're calling this guy the next Beterbiev. You understand? Shout out to Demosticles or whatever. Look at this left hook. Got the jab. All right, this Russian guy got some long arms too, man. He's in shape. Oh my God, bro. Caught dude with a left hook. I mean, this guy is not really the guy you find, this opponent is not elite, but just this is his style. I mean, I don't know how open he is to some shots, man, but Moreau's got power. All right, let me see what he's done for me lately. Come on. You know what? Matter of fact, I'm going to go ahead and go fight night. This is the last guy he fought, probably. When was this? Let's see if he... Okay. Man, what's going on? I can't even click on this. All right. There we go. All right. So Kadiev versus Lucho Wishak. I don't even know who this guy is. See, that's what I'm saying. When I'm watching guys fight guys that I have no clue who they are, I don't know where to really put you, but just technique right now. Seeing what Imam can do, just technique for technique. Look, Polish kid's giving him some work. Imam, good jab, good body work. This was the first round too, so remember, guys, he's finishing guys. He's knocked out nine out of his 10 fights, so he must carry a lot of punching power, a lot of thump. Good body work, bro. His right hand to the body's good, very good. Good body work right now, man. That Polish kid's taking punishment right now. Holy cow. All right, so, I mean, so far, I don't see nothing crazy, right? But I do see good body work. and his ability to change levels, and it looks like he loves to attack. This guy's not going backwards. We might see. We're definitely gonna see Morrell boxing in this matchup. This style, remember, style makes fights, man. Styles make fights. You know, if Dave Morrell tries to get in there into a firefight, it's not gonna be the best thing to do. But he has enough power, Morrell, to knock out, take advantage of Imam's aggression, and use some of that counter punching, that Cuban style boxing, and hit him with some counter punching power and possibly knock him out. But I'm sold. This is a good matchup coming back, man. This is a tough guy. This is a guy that's not going to be backing up. This is a guy that's going to bring the fight to David Morrell. Dude was kind of tough. Damn, I think Morrell takes decision. My man Ryan Hong says, I think Morrell takes decision. I don't know about decision, bro. You know, this is just the style, the way I'm looking at it, man. It's just way too much aggression for it to fall into that, you know, into that knockout. Into that decision making. It's gonna be some knockout shit, man. Morrell's gonna have to weather the storm, bro. He just came back from fighting an aggressive fighter. So, I mean, it's funny to see how the promoters are putting him in there with another aggressive guy. I don't know if that's to test his mettle, to see if he still got it against a guy that's bringing the pain like that. But now that you brought it to light, Ryan, Kadaev was brutal in the Olympics. Shit, man. So this dude ain't no joke. Ryan Hong says Ben Whitaker schooled him in the Olympics, so Morrell probably gonna do the same. Damn, Ryan Hong. Gee. Ben Whitaker's is an awkward style, though. I see Ben Whitaker is a very, very awkward. I would love to go back and see how that looked, that fight. I don't know if he was doing his dancing around in the Olympics, but Ben Whitaker, definitely an awkward style. But if he schooled him, he schooled him. And Morrell's got that Cuban style. That's what I'm saying. That aggressive style that Imam's bringing, it's perfect for Morrell's boxing ability, right? You know, he could be aggressive too, but if he gets into his Cuban style boxing, he'll give Imam a lot of problems. Morrell will get out of this one, and he could possibly knock him out if he gets him into the into the counter punching. If he leads him into a solid shot, because Imam's already going to be coming through, bro, like a truck. We know what to expect from this guy. And again, if you're tapping in with us on Facebook, YouTube, X, IG, Champies, hit that like, subscribe, and make sure you share that. You know what I'm saying? Hit that little arrow when all your friends pop up. Select all. Send them to all 50 friends. I bet you probably didn't even know that one of your friends in your friend list might have loved boxing just like you, and you don't even know. So send it out. And, of course, if you're on Twitter, same thing, right? Make sure you check us out. So you can definitely follow us on all these platforms too. And it looks like the workouts are done, right? You had everybody stop by. We couldn't get too much, right? You see the public workouts too. Remember, some of these guys are going through these weight cuts, so we don't always get what we want to see. You know, we're not going to get highlight reels out of these public workouts. But every now and then we do get some good shows from, depending on who's boxing. Right now, Berlanga gave us just a messing around in the ring, playing with Junior. So we can't get too much. And you can't really expect too much too. Again, bro, how hard is the weight cuts on fighters? You want to conserve some of that energy. You don't want to be overstepping because, you don't have the right amount of liquid. And the liquid that you got, you want to kind of keep it and gradually keep cutting. You don't want to speed things. The cutting weight, bro, is such a science, especially when you're talking about water. You're pulling that water the right way. It's crazy. It's definitely a science. Let's see if I go back to, let's see. Are we collaborating? We are collaborating. Okay. Looks like we got everything going. Oh, man, I didn't repost. See, it's a one-man army over here, champs. I'm trying to tell y'all. Call me the one-man army, doing everything at the same damn time. So, IG family, apologies if I didn't catch your messages right now. All right. Now that I'm done being an octopus right here, I think we're golden. All right. So let's get into the Mike Coppinger and Shakur Stevenson interview. Literally, bro, we can go through. We can actually I can highlight some of the moments in this, but you know, it's kind of tough on boxing media, right? It's tough for a boxing reporter out there in these days. You know what I mean? Got to be careful. Can't get fighters mad. Sometimes you got to watch how you talk, right? It's crazy, right? You're trying to keep good relationships with fighters. One thing I'll always do is I'm always going to keep it real, right? I'm always going to keep it real. And for the most part, I think that's what reporters like to do. But every now and then you get one of these boxing reporters gets himself in trouble, right? And when you haven't been in the ring, if you haven't been in there, you know, fighters are just going to look at you a little different, man. You gotta get in the ring and swing, Mike, to really, you know what I mean? Talk the talk that you be talking sometimes. But again, Mike, you know, does a hell of a job, and he's still developing his position in Ring magazine, right? Being so much in front of the cameras, but it's still comical. Good sport, Mike, right? Mike didn't lose his cool, and to be honest, Shakur was pretty. It was fun. It was, even though it was a little bit tense. You know, you could notice that it was still fun enough in a good tone that you know, things didn't look like they were gonna get out of hand, or if it was super serious in that matter. But funny as hell, bro. I mean, he opens it up right away too. Yeah, look how he starts. Look how the interview starts right from the beginning. Look how this starts. It's great.
And look, this is gonna be a tough fight on paper, at least against William Zepeda. Tell us why it won't be tough in the ring.
First, I want to say we were by far the worst commentator and interviewer in the business. Actually, this is
Look.
third take. But William Zepeda, he was a great fighter.
Look.
Be tough in the ring.
Wait,
First,
look.
I want to say we were by far the worst commentator and interviewer in the business. Actually, this is his third take. But
Hey, yo, bro. My boy Mike was holding it. Mike's just look. I don't know what Mike was thinking. Yo, y'all better stop messing with Mike, man. Before Mike go learn some taekwondo and shit. Get at y'all. Yo, first Crawford trying to take him out. Now Shakur putting him on the spot. Damn, Mike, what you do over there, bro? You must have did some bullshit. Oh, man. That sucks. Shout out to D.O. Keeping it 1,000. Says, to be real, I never was a fan of yours until you refed that TBV fight. And I like the way you carried yourself. Now I never listened to that snake. Damn. It's all right, though, bro. Listen, man, you know, that was a dynamic. It was a dynamic situation, bro. That happened the way it happened. Honestly, you know, don't be surprised. Because I still got to revisit a conversation. It was a friendship that lasted very long, and it's worth a talk. So, you know, it is what it is, bro. You know, it is what it is. People change. Time passes, hopefully for the better. You know what I mean? And you just never know, champy. You just never know. But while you're here kicking it with me, let's keep it going, right? And Yo, what's going on with Mike, right? We're just tapping in real quick on Mike, man. He is a boxing reporter. He does get us, the news, and he does, he breaks news, man. Mike's been doing it for a minute, man. I think I met Mike a long time ago, bro, years ago. I met him at a fight. We were sitting actually in one of the seats. I think they had reserved it for the boxing media. But I thought he was cool then, and he was pretty chillaxed, dressed, regular, had his backpack and shit, reporting and shit, Now he's up there on the ring, so I don't know where Shakur got it in him to. I'm not saying he don't got it in him to put anybody on the spot, but I don't know what got in him to do it because this shit was funny. This shit was hilarious, champion. Let's put this back on. Because again, he was Mike Coppinger was handling himself pretty good. He didn't let this shit get to him. Like,
He's a great fighter, and on paper, it's supposed to be the hardest fight of my career. So let's see what happens July 12th.
Yeah, we'll see. And I appreciate the kind words, Shakur. Thank you for that.
No kind words, brother.
he said, I thank you for the kind words, Shakur. Yeah, Shakur said, yo, bro, I don't know why I'm repeating it, y'all. Like, y'all didn't just listen to it. I'm just going to play it back. But this had me dying. This is what I needed this morning, because this is where I caught wind of this. When I heard this, I was just like, damn, man. Cop, what happened?
Let's see what happens July 12th.
Yeah, we'll see. And I appreciate the kind words, Shakur. Thank you for that.
No kind words.
Appreciate the kind words, Shakur. Thank you for that.
No kind words.
Appreciate the kind words, Shakur. Thank you for that.
No kind words, brother.
Oh, shit. That shit is crazy, bro. Yo, and I'm glad Mike holds his cool, bro. Mike would get lit up, man. Mike, we love you, bro, but you would have said some dumb shit, you might have gotten lit up, bro. I think he played it real cool, and it was comical, bro, because any other person probably would have, just shut down. Mike Coppinger kept coming back. Oh, shit. D.O. says, bro, I used to be friends with a narcissist like Ness, but end of the day, it just doesn't work. It's all right, champy. It's all right. Sometimes probably the business can't mix, Sometimes it's just circumstances. It was a unique circumstance, bro. It was a unique circumstance at that point, and it was just like a climax, you could say, you know what I'm saying, of things, a lot of frustration and things like that. And this, like I said, you guys, don't know the whole of it probably, or, just it was a unique situation for us both. And, it was time for me, to take a step away. I mean, look, I became a tax professional, and I've been, I've definitely, as far as engineering visually, I mean, it just made me more of a monster in this podcast space too. So you just never know what God works in mysterious ways, brother, and it just sucks that it went down the way it did. But it happened. And we keep growing. And you just never know, champy. Just never know. Let's continue this, though. This is the most comical interview ever. I don't know when I saw a fighter clowning like that. Probably Crawford. Crawford does the same thing. Remember, Crawford was trying to slam Mike Coppinger. I think the camp got something against Mike, bro. Mike might have said something from against Crawford, somebody. He's always... I mean, yo, man, but boxing media, we're trying to keep it real, bro. Why are you gonna get mad? Don't get mad. Damn, Mike gotta learn. Mike gotta learn some Taekwondo, some Krav Maga. They gotta stop messing with Mike, man.
Oh, okay. Well, I was being sarcastic, obviously. But
Oh, for real. I didn't know.
oh, okay. Well, good. I'm glad you have a sense of humor. But sarcastic, obviously. But oh, okay. Well, I was being sarcastic, obviously. But
Oh, for real. I didn't know.
oh, okay. Well, good. I'm glad you have a sense of humor. But
Hey, yo, Mike, bro. What the fuck? And I was just talking about Shakur Stevenson, right? And they were, of course, he's attending the the PR pushes and channels and everywhere they push these fighters along, right? You already know the shows that they put them on, but every now and then, you just got to do a little bit more, right? And I feel like, especially if you have a platform like these fighters do, known nationally, they can always just go on their own platform and a little buzz from them, man, just to get to know you a little bit more, your character, bro. People like that. Look at Canelo. As soon as Canelo started talking English, everybody was loving it, right? We're getting a little bit more from Shakur, getting the comical side. You know what I mean? It's refreshing. And look,
William Zepeda likes to bring the pressure, volume puncher, great body puncher, and physically strong guy. How do you deal with him?
I'm so scared, man. Like, I don't think I ever been this scared a day in my life. Like, you got a guy just, big, strong, physical. He's coming in there to impose his will, and yeah, I'm very fearful of this fight. Yes.
Well, you've been vocal. You've said it many times before.
yo, the sarcasm, bro. He was sarcastic the whole time. I don't.
Engage. We know Zepeda likes to engage. So, are you excited for this kind of opponent?
I mean, we'll see. These guys engage with other people, but they see me and they do something different. But William Zepeda is a hell of a fighter once again. And, he's coming in.
You're supposed to fight Floyd Scope. Are you going for the stoppage against Zepeda? What kind of statement would that be?
I mean, at the end of the day, I'm coming in there to put belt to ass. I'm coming in there to perform and beat him up. But truthfully, I don't go in there looking for stoppages. So if it get like that, it get like that.
Enjoy the Devin Haney fight. Why not?
I mean, that's what it is for a boxer puncher, though. We're not gonna, even though Turkey's been trolling a little bit with Tom and Jerry and all that. Like, bro, fighters that know what they're good at, they're not gonna go for that. Again, that's just trolling. Ultimately, you can't control the way somebody fights. You could try to influence them, maybe the money, the contract. I don't know if something like that can even be put into a contract. But obviously, if you want to get big bags, you got to put on performances. Styles make fights, man. Shakur's not. He's not gonna need to do too much to look good in this fight. William Zepeda is gonna do everything. He's gonna go in there, head on, headstrong first, and try to take position as much as you can to get that ring generalship, right? To control the ring. Zepeda's gonna come forward, and we already know what Shakur does good, man. It's just that 1,500 punches in a fight. That's impressive, bro. He broke the record. That's impressive. To me, more punches to a style like Shakur just means more opportunities for Shakur to land good shots. But we shall see. We shall see. I wish I had the timestamps for some of the other comical shit that he said.
I got you. You can't put words in my mouth.
All right, thank you.
Look.
I said that y'all gonna school. You said that. I said that? No, that was you.
Devin Haney, Jose Ramirez fight, Ryan Garcia, Rolly Romero. You were pretty outspoken. You did not enjoy the Devin Haney fight. Why not?
I said that? No.
Devin Haney fight. Why not?
I said that? No, that was you.
Devin Haney, Jose Ramirez fight, Ryan Garcia, Rolly Romero. You were pretty outspoken. You did not enjoy the Devin Haney fight. Why not?
I said that? No, that was you. You said that.
No, you said no. You said it on Twitter. You said it wasn't a good fight, and you're gonna show a good fight.
No, I said that y'all gonna see something way better July 12th. That's what I said.
Okay, fair enough.
I got you. You can't put words in my mouth.
All right, thank you for the correction. I appreciate it.
Y'all reporters be doing a lot, man. Y'all gotta chill, man. But July 12th is gonna be
Yeah, I gotta chill, man. Yo, shout out to Dio. Back around says, after watching Farmer hurt Zepeda multiple times, this fight's a joke. Wow. Wow, look at this guy. Let me see what we got going. All right. Wow. Zepeda, yeah. But again, I don't know if it's a joke. You feel me, champ? I don't know if it's a joke. again, we just know how good Shakur Stevenson is, right? Styles makes fights. And believe it or not, Tevin Farmer and Shakur, even though you could put them both in the defensive slot of style fighting, right? He's still, they still have slightly different styles. Tevin's just a little bit different in the way he approaches fights. I think Tevin takes more, I think a little bit too many risks. And that's just the style he's in, right? He's been like that. He's been a dog forever, right? The comeback king and everything else. So, it was a style that was better suited for Cepeda's style, in my belief. The ability to take that many more risks. And, it was fun fights. But, again, Shakur Stevenson ain't going to be doing that. He's not going to sit there and just trade shots with you. He's going to make sure that his punch placement is elite, hitting you with sharpshooter shots, right? Every chance he gets. And he has the eyes, bro. There's just some fighters that come along the way, bro. They just have the eyes, the reaction time, right? That split second neoplasticity, right? That just connects everything in fractions of seconds, bro. And he's one of those fighters. You could even see it, the concentration, the level, the way the eyes open up. They're dialed in, bro. He's gonna be dialed in. But I don't know about it being a joke, bro. Remember, William Zepeda, this is a huge opportunity for William Zepeda. Huge. And the preparation was probably a little more intense. I'm not saying that Zepeda slept on Tevin, but remember, this is a bigger fight, a bigger reward, and more on the line. So I don't like always to do that trifecta, that triangle analysis. We got to take that with a grain of salt and include some other X factors in there. William Zepeda, still a high output puncher. And, he can also take advantage of Shakur's styles. Shakur likes to wait for good shots. And, knowing that he's a counter puncher, knowing that he has that defensive style, if they did the right homework in William Zepeda's corner or camp, they'll be able to get around some of that shoulder rolling. There's ways to attack. Look, Maidana was a perfect example of how to handle sort of like that Philly style defensive rolling style that Floyd has. Again, Shakur's slightly different from Floyd, but they use that defensive style. So there's ways to crack in there. There's combinations you could put together to crack in through that style. It's just you got to do the right homework, right? The fault the fighters have is that once you're a certain type of fighter, come forward. Once you've been fighting a certain style, when shit hits the fan, you go right back to what you know. So William Zepeda is just gonna have to be real patient, bro, because it ain't gonna be easy to hit a Shakur Stevenson. It's not. It's just not. Yeah, we're talking about this. Excuse me. Talking about this interview, but I don't know if we have any more funny moments. Let's see.
Sure, I feel like you got me on that card, and I feel like I'm better than every last fighter that was on that card. So
William Zepeda and then Berlanga.
this fight is the tougher and better fight. Hey, we in New York, and this is hometown. But my fight is actually a tighter fight too, so it kind of like makes sense. But
This is a double headliner.
This is hometown.
I know y'all heard about the little beef that,
Fun event.
quick little beef
You're from New York.
that Shakur Stevenson was having with Berlanga. They squashed it out, obviously. They brubs from the tri-state area.
Show out. Come July 12th.
But this is a double headline.
William Zepeda, this fight is a fight that fans have been calling for years, and you've been calling for the fight as well, on Twitter, on social media. Why is this a fight that you like?
So who will admit he been ducking you?
I wouldn't say ducking before it happens. Yes.
You will admit that he been ducking you.
Look, the fight's happening now. I will admit that you wanted the fight before it happens. Yes.
You will admit he been ducking you.
I wouldn't say ducking, but I see where you're coming from. Yes.
So do you still got him over me?
I do not.
Oh, you don't have him over me no more?
I have you ahead of him in the rankings.
Oh,
yes.
wow. What changed?
He's been looking good, and Zepeda obviously had a couple of tough fights with Tevin Farmer. You and Farmer obviously have very different styles, but
Yeah, cause 2 fights ago you had to move me. It was like last year, actually.
Yeah, and then I changed it. So
Okay, that's good to hear you.
Hey, yo, why can't somebody change their mind though, bro? This is what I'm saying, man. Yeah, boxers got to cut us some slack too, bro. Like, it's not always gonna be you, man. You know what I mean? It might be you today. It might be not you a couple weeks into the leading up to a fight. It might be you again. Like, you know what I'm saying? We look at this through different perspectives, man, as boxing analysts and reporters. You know what I'm saying? It's not always going to be 1 + 1 2. There's always a wraparound, man. That shit's crazy. Yo, Mike Pot. But do you hear the comical sensing, and do you sense it right in the conversation? Mike's like, well, I didn't say that, so I said, bro, if you didn't know any better, you would think that this was like a comedy skit that was put together on some production shit. But it was so organic that it seemed so, right? It was so funny. Let me just go back in there. I gotta listen to this shit again. This shit's just too hilarious.
You know, glad you finally.
I came to my
waking up.
senses.
Yeah, glad you finally waking up. But last year, actually.
yeah, and then I changed it. So
Okay, that's good to hear. You know, glad you finally.
I came to my
waking up.
senses.
Yeah, glad you finally waking up. But like I said, Zepeda's a hell of a fighter. I think he'll be.
Yo, Mike Coppinger, yo, you gotta enjoy this shit, bro. This is like enjoying a nice scotch, right? You just gotta look at all the body language. Mike Coppinger was just holding it together, and you gotta give him props for it, bro. He took a stare at the camera right there, timestamp 4:59. That it was fucking hilarious. Look at this. Look at the way he looks at the camera after he answers.
Yeah, glad you finally waking up. But like I said, Zepeda's a hell of a fighter. I think he'll be.
Yo, Coppinger didn't know whether to bite his tongue. He couldn't look at Shakur. He couldn't mean mug Shakur, so he tried to mean mug the camera real quick. Yeah, look at it again. 4:59. Well, I'll put a 4:53. Look at this.
I came to my senses.
Yeah, glad you finally waking up. But like I said, Zepeda's a hell of a fighter. I think.
Jeez, bro. I'm having fun with this, man. Shout out to everybody that's tapping in with me, man. We're talking, of course, many things. Just finished watching the public workout for the Berlanga and Sheeraz and Stevenson, Cepeda, double headliner going on this Saturday in New York, Corona Queen stand-up in the Louis Armstrong Stadium, a stadium that looks really good. Again, I'll throw it up there for y'all, man, because it's looking good out here, champies. You know what I'm saying? It's looking good out here. The stadium is, the stadium's been used for tennis, and the way it's built gives you that theater-style seating, right? And for me, that's a plus, bro. That's something that's going to be looking, when you go and you try to buy tickets, and you're going to be at the Louis Armstrong Stadium, like, just expect it, right? Expect to have that great seating. Sometimes we don't go to certain fights because, some of us just don't like the seating. But look at this seating, man. Just look. Nobody's in front of nobody. Everybody has a good view. They should make all stadiums like this. I don't know why it's not like this everywhere. I'm pretty sure it's stadium style. It has that theater seating, but just this one looks just so much more angled to the point where, like, even if you had somebody super tall in front of you, you can still see over them. That's important to me. When I'm going out and I'm gonna go watch the fights, you want to sell tickets, promoters. I'm gonna listen up, boxing promoters, boxing investors, group holdings, all of you. you want to sell more tickets? Then invest in the customer, the client experience. Why only the people that got the presidential boxes deserve comfort, right? Make the experience great for the public, bro. We'll buy more tickets. Shit, if I know that I'm gonna be comfortable, you know what I mean? Because sometimes the seating ain't as comfortable as it should be. And the perks, and we don't ask for much too, man. It could be something real small. Put a little bit of speaker boxes in the seats. People that are up high, maybe they could listen to the fight a little bit more. The broadcasting, right? That would be fly, bro. Imagine you had a seating, right, and you're far up, and then all of a sudden in the seat integrated, you have like the ability to like maybe, you know, when you're on the plane, you got the ability to put your head jacks in, right, to listen to a movie. Maybe you want to listen to the fight, you know what I mean? Maybe you just want to be live but was zoned out. Maybe you want to listen to the telecast when things are going on. I mean, I like going to the fights and just talking to the people, really. Just being around the people and talking to people you know that you don't know, but you know you love boxing. Yeah. Anyway, I just think they could do more, right? So the more comfortable the arena, the better the seating. You know, the whole customer experience. You'll sell more. You'll definitely sell more. And I know that's probably a job for the owners of the stadiums, more so than the actual boxing promoters. But I'm pretty sure that, you know, if you're listening to the Boxing Biz, you might have got this one for free, promoters or stadium owners. You know what I'm saying? I got a million ideas in this cabezon. And shout out to everybody that's tapping in too. Hit that like button, YouTube, Facebook, X, IG. Make sure you hit that like, subscribe. Can't tell you guys enough. Listen, the achievements are stacking. All right? I'm getting all these gold medals on YouTube right now. So keep it going, man, and appreciate it again for tapping in. Yeah. Let's go back to the chatty patty. After watching Farmer Hersa pay more times, the fight's a joke. Dio, you had said that. Dr. Evil out this mug. Ryan Hong, LOL. This is brutal. What's brutal, Ryan? What you talking about, man? What's brutal? Schmoodle. Remove that. But let's circumvent back, right? Because we've been jumping around a bunch of topics. Obviously, you know, I'm over here dolo might. So, got to keep myself in line. Let's see what else we had on the menu here. Right. Excuse me. Let's see what else we had on the menu here. So, yeah, well, obviously I don't want to play back the Ariel Helwani interview unless, well, there's certain I guess, takes that would be worth. But Shakur Stevenson, man, I like the Ariel Helwani interview also that he had there. You know, the more we get to hear him talk and in front of these different channels and these different interviewers, like Ariel Helwani, great interviewer, Ariel Helwani, and you get to see some more of what Shakur Stevenson is made out of, right? Smart kid, got good boxing knowledge. Looks like he has a good understanding of the boxing business too in itself, and that's refreshing and nice to see, along with the new age of boxers that we're having now, right? You know, they're more involved in their business aspect of the sport, and they're more familiarized with making those moves. So you know, this is the way of the future. You know, I mean, Devin Haney's one of the perfect examples, right? He's been self-promoting, and his father, shout out to Bill. They've been really swift in attaining success by being knowledgeable in the sport. And what else can we say? I mean, Shakur got Lamont in the rematch against Tank. That was what was interested me. And if you see the thumbnail to the show, it was him saying that, you know, we got to get this fade. The fade got to happen, right? So Shakur Stevenson is willing to go, you know, he's willing to do whatever it takes, or almost whatever it takes, right? I can't speak for him, but it's his words. So he'll do whatever it takes to make the fight happen. And Ariel Helwani had mentioned, you know, maybe signing the PBC would be the smart way to make that happen. And Shakur's response was plainly just, you know, whatever makes sense and whatever it needs to be done to make it happen. That's a super fight right there. But I don't know how he feels now that, you know, I don't know where that goes if you feel like Lamont might win that fight, you know. Shakur Stevenson and Lamont had spoken, I guess, before, even after the fight that Roach had with Jamonte. And, you know, they were willing to get in the ring with each other. So we'll see what Lamont and Roach is bringing to the table, man, on you know, Tank doesn't want to get embarrassed, bro. And that's okay. Ain't nothing wrong with that. You know, ain't nothing wrong with not wanting to get embarrassed. So, you know, it's not nervous energy. It's none of that, you know, but, like supposedly like we don't even have a date or something like that. Like, I don't know what truly is going on behind the curtain. Excuse me. What do we got going on here? Yeah, Ryan Hong said this is brutal. Doomy, how old are you? Damn, call me 42. 42, champion. Stop playing. And I'll still get in the ring and swing, champ. Ain't nobody challenging me. It's like, nah, let me stop playing before I get a challenger. Then I got to get in shape. I'm supposed to be going back to the boxing gym anyway, man. Just been, you know, well, I was supposed to go back last week. And I weirdly threw out my back stretching and shit. That's how you know that the age is, and it's not so much that the age is piling on. I hadn't been moving around for a month. Slacked the hell off totally. So I'm actually back up like 20 pounds. Story of my life. But I get to lose the weight here always with you guys. I know you guys check me out on IG and everything. I'm always hollering at you to go work out and stay in shape. And try to do the most for your health, man, because health is wealth, bro. And no matter what, if you don't got health, man, you're not enjoying it, man. You're not enjoying life. So, you know, I got to go back, break this this streak of laziness, right? And it hasn't been so much that. I just been, again, acclimating. And it's not even tax season yet, bro. Come January, it's a busy season for me. I actually got to get back to some calls, man. I just took a look at my missed calls. So you know who you are, champions. I'll be getting back to you soon after this show. Because remember, I do taxes throughout the whole year. And, you know, I'm always, but, you know, January to April is crunch time. Let's see. See if yeah, there we go. Yeah, it's crunch time. So, yeah, Ryan, 42. Ryan Hahn said, if you don't mind me asking, nah, I'm champ. I'm an open book, champy. Check me out. Google me, champ. You can Google me. You just won't find whatever the CIA decided to take away. You know what I'm saying? It's like, nah. Did you already make your predictions on all the fights, or are you waiting on that later on? Yeah, I'm still waiting. I was going to take the predictions tomorrow for Friday night's fights. And I was going to do Saturday night's fights on Friday predictions. So, guys, for tomorrow's show, I'll be doing predictions, right? And we're going to be solidifying some bets. So it'll be a predictions and betting show at the same time. And I won't get too crazy into parlays because everybody likes, you know, to put together bets with other sports and stuff like that. I can't account for that. I can only help out with what I feel could be possibilities in the boxing matches. So make sure you tune in on Thursday tomorrow for the show. And listen, hit the notification bell, right? So that you can know exactly when we're going live. Definitely going live every day. And we try to do a morning, afternoon show, sometimes evening. We're hopping around right now, locking in the schedule. But again, appreciate you guys locking in with me. Having a little patience, right, for me to get it together with the actual personal life and podcasting schedule. I'm trying to be on here as much as I can. And, you know, love what I do. And you guys make it happen so that I'm in front of more eyes out there. Champ. All right. What are we doing? Did you already make predictions? That's my man Cut. So, yeah, understand that. Thursday for Friday and Friday for Saturday. Champ. Tyco TV. Salute, champion. We're going to hit you with this one. Bam. Shout out to Tyco TV. Brian Hahn says, shit, you good with taxes? Yeah, I'm pretty good, my brother. You know, taking the last 4 or 5 years to study the business. I have my own business, so I've been doing this pretty well. I help some in the community from the community, boxing community. You know who you are. I help a few of you guys, and you know, I try to be as accessible as possible. Obviously, right now, I'm going ham with the podcasting, and tax season is a little slow, but you know, I try to always be available for my tax clients, even though it's a crazy game. It's a crazy game because there's a lot to know, a lot to learn. You got Trump's new bill that's being passed, which will definitely impact your taxes. And we can always talk about that too, right? I'm going to have to create like another show during the week where we could just talk about shit. You know, if you guys want some financial talk, you know, I could definitely include it in that, especially to all my boxers out there. Boxers, you know, fathers who have sons and daughters that are boxing. You know, you got to be able to manage your fighters, your children, right, if they're boxing, in a way where it's conducive to the success of their overall brand, right, and career. Take a little bit more control. And obviously, taxes is the first thing. Why do you think Teofimo Lopez was, you know, stressed out when they was going to give him, I think it was $1 million or something? They take away half already. You get $1 million, you getting 500. You get 500, you getting 250. And then you got to know how to move that money around. You got to know how to, you know, do you have your LLC? Do you have your proper entity in place, right? Business entity. You got to know what you're doing. LLC, S Corps, C Corps, partnerships, limited partnerships. All that shit matters when you're in this business, man. And that's why, during this time that I took a hiatus, I just say God works in mysterious ways because I was able to learn a lot. So shout out to True Taxes Corp. If you guys don't know them, that's the partnership I'm in with them for the tax business. Mine's a strategic solution services, but I am in partnership and also work with True Taxes Corp. It is the tax company that's giving me the opportunity to learn and do what I do. So can't big them up enough. So check them out too on IG. And if you need your taxes done, you already know. You could just go on the website and pick me as your tax preparer, and I'll prepare your taxes. No problem. Just, you know, be on point. I might have to groom a couple of you guys when you come in, because sometimes I tell you, it gets a little crazy with you guys in a tax business. You know, because a lot of people are, you know, they're not super organized. This is something that I like to do, though. I like to really educate people and my clients. You know, I try to put everybody at ease. You know, don't be afraid of the IRS. You know, I'm in your corner, right? I'll box them out for you. But even then, the IRS, they're pretty okay. You know, they'll work with you. And I just think that there's always like a fear when interacting with the IRS agents. But definitely can help you out with your tax business. You had me go down the tax business rabbit hole right now. But shout out to everybody that's tapping in with the Doomatron here on the Boxing Biz podcast show. Check us out on iHeartRadio, Google Podcasts, and all your other favorite podcast hosting sites. If you want to catch us on sound, you can always go ahead and download the MP4, MP3 if you're going to be in a place where there's no service. If you want to catch up on episodes, or I guess our current log is, or book log is up to like 80 episodes on there. So, you know, feel free to visit us on the Boxing Biz, on iHeartRadio, and the rest of the podcast hosting sites if it's something that you want. If not, continue to watch us here on YouTube, X, IG, and Facebook. The Discord, shout out the actual boxing fan. I got to get that Discord running. But listen, I'm more than welcome you. I know I've known a few of you for a very long time. If you guys want to help grow the community, truly want to help grow the community, and you want to come in on board, maybe handle our Discord, be a mod on Discord, maybe our IG. If you want to go ahead and help the Boxing Biz, if you want to get on the ground floor and help us grow, feel free to let me know. No super heavy commitments needed. Just you know, your love for the sport of boxing and the want to help the Boxing Biz podcast, and yours truly, the Doomatron, grow, so that we can get into more situations, we can get into more doors, right? Definitely want to start hitting these media pressers on my own, and you know that I'll go up. I'm gonna be up in there asking the questions that you guys want. So it's not just for me; it's for us. Jam! Shout out to Poi Pounder NW. Says Imam Kariev tested positive for the PED clomiphene, so David Morrell's fight is probably canceled on Saturday. Explains why he's been a no-show during fight week. Oh shit! I'm hitting the star on that one, bro. I knew it was odd that they didn't have Kamarev at the public workout. I'm like, what the fuck's going on? They got it. They got him, bro. They got his ass. Get over here. And Reynoso's fighter popped, bro. He just finished beating Yafai. And he's another one that popped, bro. That's a bad look for Eddie Reynoso camp, dog. That's a bad look. I don't know how that shit keeps happening over there, bro. And it's just putting more question marks, really. You know what I'm saying? If all your fighters are popping, it's like, we got this big fight coming through, Crawford versus Canelo. And it's just looking bad for the Reynoso camp right now, man. I don't know how that just doesn't, like, bro, it's getting bad. Handle that shit over there, bro. Start ordering meat from fucking Europe. Like, what's going on? Mm-hmm. These guys are really messing up the they're messing up the image. Shout out to Poi Pounder, man. Came through with the knowledge. Damn. That's it, Imam. You ain't fighting shit. Damn right you denied. Get out of here with your cheating ass. Look, they was going to set up Dave Morrell. Yo, David Morrell was like, yo, something's wrong with this Russian dude. We got to confirm that, though, bro. Send me a link, Poi. We got to confirm that, bro. I mean, you could probably get it right off the top right here on some Google shit, but wow. That's crazy. Tested positive, man. Now Morrell stays inactive, and that's going to suck. Unless they... This is why I keep saying, bro, when you got fights... I mean, I know that the Morrell fight wasn't a co-main or a main, but still, I always keep mentioning how they should always have, promoters should always have lined up, backup fighters, just to at least keep their fighters active, and at the same time, giving the people what they want, right? They want to see the guy come back. They want the fight. This is very important. Backup fighters should be really considered in the game, bro. I don't know if it's because they don't want to pay money, or I know it takes a little extra money to pay a fighter that might be fighting, right? But hey, go through the list, see who wants to take that responsibility, right? Who wants to take that money? It don't got to be big money, but if I'm already training as a fighter, so it's like if I'm getting paid just to stay ready, like, in the event that something happens, I'm not gonna ask for too much. I'm already training shit. But failed drug test, man. Imam got a torta now because he messed up. Yo, Imam Karaev fails drug test for clomiphene. David Morrell fight status unknown. Former Olympian Imam Karaev got hit with a 2-year suspension, but it's unclear whether that applies to his upcoming fight with David Morrell Jr. How does this even make sense, bro? That's crazy. When did he get popped? He already got hit with a 2-year suspension. When did he pop? I wonder if the promotion's been scurrying around to try to get an opponent for David Morrell, because how long ago did this actually happen? Because his case was already adjudicated. He got the 2-year suspension. But it's unclear whether that applies to his upcoming fight. Yeah, he's definitely not fighting. We know this for a fact, bro. Your boy is not fighting at all. He wasn't there for the public workout. He's not doing nothing. Denied. Let's go back to the comments real quick. Shout out to Cut West, said I'd be down for that. All right, Cut. That's a great idea. Separate channel for IRL and other stuff discussions. Separate channel for IRL. I don't know what IRL is, but and other stuff discuss. IRS. Pretty sure that's what you meant to write. Yeah, definitely, bro. Love to do that. We can accommodate that, right? Let's keep moving and grooving, and bro, I'll develop the program, and listen, man. All I want to do is give, and make sure that I provide quality shows for you guys. And if we can get into some other things, man, I'm more than willing. Doomy, bro. There's plenty of stuff in this cabez. I'll take you down the rabbit hole wherever you want. All aspects of life. And UFC too, MMA, bro. I'm sorry, but I love MMA too, man. I was in the sport for a long time. I like it. I did MMA. I never competed. I ended up competing in boxing, obviously, but I never competed in MMA. But I was a gym rat. Loved it. Jiu-jitsu, Muay Thai, Judo, all that shit. We could talk about all that shit. Ryan Hahn says shite. Wait a minute. I got to go back in line. Shit. Where is it? There we go. Cut West. No, Taiko TV. I hope they find Morel a replacement. Shit, bro. Hell yeah, man. So we just talking about Cut West 707 says, but yeah, this is embarrassing for Eddie. What the fuck is going on? I'll tell you, this is super embarrassing, bro. What the fuck is going on? This shit cannot, bro. Like if you're Eddie Reynoso right now, like I don't know how you can't feel embarrassed. I'm sorry, bro. That's a bad look, man. Your fucking secret sauce is not secret sauce anymore, and that's a low shot, right? I'm not saying I can never be the judge of these things, right? But I'm seeing what I'm seeing, and it's looking bad for you, champ. Cut West says, let's see what we got going on here. Cut West says, but of course they're gonna keep sweeping it under the rug because it's Eddie. Let it be Coach Calvin or any other black trainer. We'd never hear the end of it. I hate to take it there, but I had to. Damn. The bro took it there. Well, I don't know if it would be different because I think that right now we just got so much good going on in boxing that he's not getting that heat. But, bro, look at the social medias, man. They're getting heat. They're getting heat, bro. I think that it's just kind of fallen to the wayside a little bit because there's just been so much good boxing going on. And these are the things that, if we're not really reporting on them, bro, if the boxing media is not really on that, then it's just going to be swept under the rug. There's no there's no like real coverage going on, I think, in my opinion, is because there's so much good boxing going on. But this is terrible, bro. This is fucking embarrassing, my nigga. Excuse me. Got a little hood in there, but, it's me. But that's embarrassing. That's embarrassing. And it's looking Canelo, honestly, like, I'm sorry, but it is what it is. You're making the Canelo fight right now look a little crazy. Like, because that's your fighter. And he popped for clenbuterol, Canelo, and I'm saying, like, it's never happened again. And, we could have written that off as a one-off, mistake, whatever. But, like, damn, bro, you're looking like shit right now, bro. Don't tell me you got fucking taco meat from fucking Mexico that got clenbuterol in it. I don't want to hear that shit. You should have been known already, and you should have switched it up. I don't know where, and we go back all the way back to Canelo's situation with the clenbuterol, and how soccer players were also testing positive, right? I need to see what Vargas, or what's my man's name? I need to see what he tested positive for in that Yafet fight. Don't know. I've heard of clomiphene before. Wish I had Mario on here right now. Mario knows about this shit. He knows about this steroid shit. Not saying you, no shade at you, Mario. I'm just saying that you know a little more about this than anything. But if the article says what the article says here is that he tested for a banned substance, right? It's an out of competition drug test taken April 9th, 2024. What the hell? Wait a minute. When was this article on? Damn. So wait, holy cow. This clomiphene. So yesterday morning, the International Testing Association announced that undefeated light heavyweight Imam Karayev tested positive for the banned substance clomiphene in an in-out competition drug test taken April 9, 2024. As a result, they've issued a suspension until June 25th, 2027. What makes this a bit difficult to parse is that the press release claims they imposed the suspension on behalf of the IBA in accordance with Article 833 of the IBA anti-doping rules. The IBA is primarily an amateur outfit, though it doesn't host the regular pro events like the one that saw Jazza Dickens wreck Albert Batskrayev. So it's unclear whether Karayev can compete in a non-IBA events like the Saturday Showdown with Morrell Jr. Okay, so wait a minute. This is a test that happened in 2024, and he received a suspension. So I'm having trouble figuring out the timeline here. If it was April 9th, 2024, so how much, like maybe a week later they suspended him? So why would they make a fight with David Morrell if they knew he was suspended? Like, how long did it take for him to get suspended after they found out? I mean, I'm pretty sure soon after. So why make a fight with a guy that was suspended? Now, the IBA is the International Boxing Association. It's an amateur governing body that's having pro events now, right? And I know that Tyson Fury recently was jokingly saying that he would fight, in the IBA, of course, against Usyk. And yeah, that's all I'm getting from this, man. It's unclear. It's very unclear. The timeline's unclear too. Where the heck? We're gonna have to do a little more digging on this. Maybe I'll come back with this one later. IRL in real life. Hell yeah, bro. Let's get some in real life. Yo, Cut. I love talking about different shit in life, bro. If anybody's been listening to me for a while, I could get real deep and love giving advice. The Dumatron's been around the block a million times in these 42 years, so I could definitely relate with a lot of my peoples out there. Tycho TV says at some point he can't continue to say I didn't do that with my fighters. Is they all in IA? They all popping left and right. Yeah, fighters and they're all popping left and right, my brother. No excuse, bro. Salute Chat and Biz. Shout out to Koki. Stepping in the building. Can't wait for Saturday. Yeah, bro. Saturday's going to be lit, man. Friday, too. Friday, man. Don't forget to go show support for women's boxing, bro. Shout out to Jake Paul again, bro. MVP keeps doing it. They're promoting these fights in different ways. It gives you that different... Bro, is that Jake Paul is representing the new wave of promoters. And you're going to see other promoters coming up behind them. And everybody that's been in the game as promoters, they're learning. Whether you like it or not, Jake and MVP, Nikita, they're all doing something right. The way they put these these prospects on the open workouts to fight, I thought I was bucking. I swear I thought I was bugging. I was like, what's going on here? I never seen this shit. How they having a fight? Why I didn't know about it? I actually was kind of mad I didn't know about it before. I felt like they could have promoted that shit even more. If they would have promoted it more, and again, maybe I'm not on it as much as I should have been, but I felt like they could have promoted that even more, and a lot of people would have turned up. Yo, the Oculus, like, that's a well-known spot, and it looks good, bro. Futuristic. They had the two giant Amanda Serrano and Katie Taylor balloons on each side. I mean, bro, it was lit. I'm telling you, it was lit. Matter of fact, I'll even bring it up, man. It's worth bringing up. They're breaking records, bro. As simple as that. Excuse me, man. Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde on the mic real quick. Can't wait for Saturday. Cut West says Clomid is something you take after a steroid cycle. It helps restore your balls. Damn. That's how your bolitas come back to life? I don't know why dudes mess with that shit, bro. That's bro, how you gonna... I don't know how people mess with steroids, bro. How you gonna want your bolitas to shrink? Some weird shit. Like, bro, where the hell? How you gonna give me something that's gonna shrink my balls? Fuck out of here with that. I mean, if you're trying to cycle off, I do understand a little bit about what it is, right? When you're cycling off, a lot of these people are super pros at cycling off. You got super wizards, like, not to throw shade at Victor Conte, but you did it to yourself. You got guys that know really how to tweak everything out and just get around shit, bro. Apparently Reynoso lost that sauce because that whoever's doing whatever is definitely fucking it up. You know what I think about too, man? This is not, look, I'm gonna say this not to give excuses out there, right? But I know that the boxing is a crazy business. I mean, things can happen. You know, a lot of shit happens in the shadows, so to speak, sometimes. You just never know what's really going on, right? I mean, look at Schofield, for instance. He was claiming that, you know, he got poisoned, that Shakur's team sent people to cut his tires at his house so they wouldn't make it. They stole his passport. It's a bunch of shit. Shakur Stevenson was saying in Ariel Helwani's interview, you know, that's all bullshit. Got no proof. It's all bullshit. So things are said. Sometimes it's bullshit. Some other times, you know, it could be true. But you just never know what's going on, man. You know, behind the scenes. I forgot where I was going with that, but restores your balls. Cut West says, basically it's something you really don't need to take unless you're cycling. Busted. I get that. I didn't even read it, and it was just that. Exactly what Cut West is saying. That's cycling. People are wizards at this shit. People are wizards. Tycho TV says Shakur called out Tio to fight. Said, old boy talks too much shit. I don't know, man. You know, people, where's the contract? Where's the contract? You want to fight Tio? Where's the contract? Send the contract his way. I mean, you beat Tio, you're doing good. You beat Tio, you beat a you know, former undisputed, whatever you want to. Tio got status, so if you want to fight him, fight him. You willing to fight a guy like Lamont Roach? You know what I'm saying? If Lamont Roach wins, fight a guy like Tio, send the contract. I think that would be one hell of a fight. I love fights like that. That's a very, very, very competitive fight. You feel me? I don't know about all that, you know. Tio ain't running from that, bro. Tio will fight, bro. Tio will definitely fight. And we're going to see how Shakur Stevenson does. Bro, I got Shakur all the way on this one. You know, with William. I've been calling this shit from the beginning. No shade at Camarón. But I know what Shakur can do, bro. I know what Shakur can do. Crazy, too, man. I was looking at some pictures from from back in the day when we used to hit the pressers with TBV, right? With Ness. And there was some pictures from Shakur Stevenson. He was young, bro. Super young. Got videos of him doing this is around the time I think that Mickey Hatton was fighting. It's a while ago, y'all. I'm gonna bring some pictures up. Come fight night and shit. Get nostalgic with y'all. Cut West says, yeah, I support Jake Paul. More boxing is always a good thing despite how many people don't like him. Yeah, at this point, it's like the Floyd Mayweather effect, bro. You can hate on him all you want. He gonna keep growing. He's gonna keep doing it. And don't be surprised if he beats Zurdo. I'm telling you, don't be surprised if he hits Zurdo with a mean-ass right, knocks him out. Every time we say that, okay, this is the guy that's going to beat Jake, and then they don't beat Jake. I don't think if we were in full 100% mode with Chavez Jr. being that guy, but we did expect more from Chavez, too. What a fucking shame. Excuse my French. A Poi Pounder says, sounds like he's been fighting dirty in his last few fights. So if you're talking about Imam, then shit, man. You know, Russia also has had a history. Russian fighters, competitors, even in the Olympics, they've had a bad record with steroids. It's a shame, you know, because they got some phenomenal athletes in Russia. And if you're dubbing this guy Imam as the next Beterbiev, it's like, come on, champ. You named this guy the next Beterbiev, and he's popping for steroids. Definitely don't want to put them two in the same boat. Shout out to Beterbiev, bro. I want to see that fight. What's going on? Turkey, big bag, big bolsa. Shiki, handle that. We're trying to see that too. We're asking for too much now, right? We're like spoiled kids with boxing. They're giving it to us, and we're still going to ask for more. Tycho TV says, Turkey, the contract. All you got to do is put it in the air, and Turkey gets active. Let's see what happens. Yeah, man. Let's hope Turkey listens to the show, man. You just never know, man. I know right now the subscribe count probably doesn't allude to that, but Doobie knows what he's talking about. And he knows who's out there watching. Listen, I post. I let him know. As soon as those posts come out, I'll let Turk know what's going on. Who knows? I'll get a response one of these days. Busy guy and all that. Turkey. The turkey payday. Tycho TV says, I think Shakur beats Tio. Boxer always makes dude look bad. Yeah. You know, the thing is that in that fight between Tio and Shakur, somebody's going to have to decide if they're going to be the attacker or is going to, you know, work on the back foot. It's always like that, right? That's the story of any fight. Someone's coming forward once somebody's going back, or they're both just head to head, right? So I got Tio initiating the fight in that, you know. However, you know, Tio's a very, very well-rounded boxer himself, bro. I think he would give some trouble. You know, it would be a great fight. And that's where I'll leave it for now, you know. But of course, Shakur got to handle business. I want to see how good he does in this Camarón fight. If he does very good, everything's going to look good for him. He's going to a lot of, you know, the better the performance, the more options, better position. And if you could stop that fucking 1,500 punch count, well, show me. Show me how you're going to do it, bro. That's a lot of punches, man. I was super impressed the other day when I was doing the show and they threw the numbers at me. I wasn't aware. I wasn't aware that he broke the record. To me, it was Santa Cruz, you know, when I think about high volume output. But 1,500, whew, that's a lot of moving and grooving. That's a lot of counter punching. It's a lot of catch and shoot. You know what I'm saying? That's a lot of gas tank. A lot of gas tank. Can Shakur make, this is Cut West 707. Can Shakur make or fight at Tio's weight comfortably, though? I don't like boxers going out other boxers in different weight classes without fighting a set weight. Well, this is the thing. Yo, Shakur's frame is huge, man. Y'all seen Shakur? Y'all seen the thumbnail, right? Let me put up the thumbnail again real quick so y'all see. Shakur's fucking huge, bro. And he's growing. And it looks like he's ready to go into the next weight division, to be honest with you, because look at him. Your boy, flexing. I forgot which fight. He's getting bigger, too. He's getting bigger, bro. And he wants to chase this Tank fight. He's going to be way bigger than Tank, bro. Tank should have catch these guys early, bro. That's the way to do it. That's the Floyd Mayweather way. Catch them early, catch them young, thinking that they can handle business. That's what Shakur was trying to do with Schofield. He's like, you know what? Might as well take this kid now. Fight him now. He gets too developed, gain more confidence, there's more problems. That's the tail of the tape right there. But yeah, Shakur got framed, bro. Shakur got framed to go up and fight. Yeah, Tycho TV says big back turkey. Hey, yo, big back turkey, bro. Big bag, big back, whatever. Bro got a big back because he be flexing on cats in this boxing game. So fall back, all you small backs. Big bag in the building. Straight pull-up count. Turk's pull-up count is heavy, champs. He back it all up. Cut West 707 says, I love Shakur versus Tio, but I see that fighting ending up in a negotiation hell. Definitely. Yo, I think now more than ever, we're seeing that in boxing. Exactly that. Like, and the actual fighters are more, you know, more vocal about it. You know, everything's a business move. Now more than ever, we're living in a time where the business aspect of our sport is just more prevalent. It's like it's more prevalent than ever. We know it's a business. We know. And shout out to everybody that's always been promoting this side, you know, of business, you know. That's always promoted this side because it just helps you understand more as a boxing fan, especially for us hardcores, right? On why things don't happen sometimes. Or why they do. I'm pretty sure, bro, though, but that's big money, man. That's something that Turkey will put together, bro. This is what Turkey's done too, bro. That negotiation hell, out the window, cut. Turkey in the building. Get out the way, yo. Get out the way. Big back, get out the way. Here's the money. I don't want to hear you talking. I don't want to hear you yapping about bullshit. Here's the money. You gonna fight or not? I love it. I love it, bro. It's like you can't imagine trying to outprice yourself out of a fight with Turk. It ain't happening. You're gonna have to fight. Ain't no way around it. Oh, you wanna go that high? You think you're gonna get out of this one? Big back in the building with the big bag. Toma. What you gonna say now? You gotta fight. That's why I love it. I love it. I don't think we'll worry about that shit. If big bag is in full effect. How will people feel if Shakur loses? Oh my gosh. Remember, Shakur's last loss, man, was at the Olympics, bro. We don't want to see Shakur lose. Hell no. I know he's not losing. I have 100%. If I was gonna bet 100%, I would bet 100% that Shakur wins. Ain't no way out of that. I'm telling you. But if he does, that's a huge investment. Tevin gave him so. I know, bro. You doing what ifs, Koki? Chip. Cut West laughing emojis. Triple tack. Tycho TV says T.O. priced himself from a Turkey fight versus Haney. Yeah. Oh snap! My little dog just scared the shit out of me. What do you mean? Well, he outpriced himself, but again, right? What was the offer? Was it like 10 million or something? I forget what was the exact offer. That's another thing, when you're sending out offers, term sheets, and all this other shit. Business, like before it hits the airwaves, there can be a little bit of confusion on what's going on. I don't know if he outpriced himself or Teal's just got a better position to do something else. Devin Haney got Norman Jr. problems. And again, this is why I like what Devin's doing. All right? He's going into the fire. But is he now? Is he really going into the fire, right? Now, I'm not saying that Norman Jr. ain't a problem. What I'm saying is that he's using that Floyd Mayweather blueprint, bro. Catch him young. Catch him early, right? Yeah, Norman's had a bunch of fights already, but elite level guys been in there under the heavy lights. I mean, this last fight was really the big one. The Jin Sasaki Japan trip he took. That's the one where, it was live in Japan. If you guys go catch that fight, it was live. And Jin Sasaki was throwing everything. Sink, bathtub. He was trying to hit everything with Norman. But Norman had a guy in front of him to hit, He had a guy that was always coming in forward. Even if he was on the back foot, Jin Sasaki, smaller guy too, would just jump right back into the fire. So Devin Haney is not going to be that. It's not going to be that. It's going to be very hard to hit. Now, what I do give Brian Norman Jr., credit is that he is young, he's fresher, he's fast, he's fearless. Can he catch Devin Haney? Can he catch Jerry? You know what I'm saying? Or is Jerry going to kick some ass? Because you know how it is in Tom and Jerry. Jerry's always getting the best out of Tom. It's rare when you see Tom get the best out of Jerry, right? So, yeah, difficult fight. Difficult fight for Brian. Confidence is high. Taking that fight is crazy. And Devin, not taking no credit. You're using the Floyd Mayweather blueprint, but at the same time, there's dangers in that fight, just like it was for Floyd when he faced Canelo. He had a young fighter, gas tank like a motherfucker. Speed was there. It's just that the IQ belonged to Floyd. So this is sort of what I'm going to be looking to see in this fight between Devin Haney and Brian Norman. It's going to be that type of fight because ain't no way in heck, again, that these top fighters like Shakur, Devin, are going to be influenced to fight us another way where they're going to get hurt. It's just not working out. I think the whole No More Time and Jerry fights, though, just puts little things in perspective. It puts things in in the light. You know, I guess it put a little extra pressure on fighters to perform. But I don't think anybody's going out the window to get their head knocked off just to say there wasn't a Tom or a Jerry. Cut West 707 says Tio asked for 10 milli. A milli, like a couple of years ago. He got it, and now Tio, like yesterday's price, is not today's price. Yeah, bro, man, you ain't here. But listen, man, let me not get back into the finance talk. You know, inflation, taxes. I'm telling you, he get that 10 million, he's only getting 5 milli. And then we got to see how you breaking that down in taxes. I'm telling you, I wonder who Teofimo's tax guy is. Shout out to Teo if you're listening. Come on over here. Shout out to True Tax Corp. Yeah. All right, so yeah, he outpriced himself. Got the milli. All right, we got everybody on the commentos. Let's go back to what we were doing, talking this boxing shit, and going back to Jake Paul too, man. Shout out again, Elise Soto, right? Gotta shout out my Jersey natives, right? Shout out to Danny, Veronica. Done a hell of a job with this young lady. Super featherweight, 130 pound. Check her out. Representing Puerto Rico. That's right, under the Amanda Serrano banner. As well as Krystal Rosado, bro. Krystal Rosado, but both Elise Soto and Krystal Rosado showed some dog, bro. I know that they had opponents. Well, I think that Elise's opponent in Colleen was just a little more formidable opponent than Krystal's, right? This is my personal opinion. Even though Agustina Vasquez was a tough fighter, I mean, Krystal was really hitting her with some shots. But I like what I saw in Krystal. Very sharp. Very well put together combinations. You know, just good power too. You know, I'm pretty sure that girl was super tough, but she had a mean ass headache after that fight because Krystal was lighting her up. Elise, again, dog, bro, showing dog. Just come forward, very intelligent, bobbing and weaving, able to like move out of counter punches coming in from Colleen, and she was landing some good shots. Putting them out there again. Just and they asked Shakur Stevenson too if he was going to be able to watch the Katie Taylor fight or be there. Obviously, he's going to be he's going to be somewhere else, as you saw in the interview. If you guys didn't catch it, but he's going to be locked in. But again, there was talks of maybe the women's card going up against the attention of the fight on Saturday. I don't think it's neither. I think they both kind of help each other out, really, to keep that boxing aura around in the weekend. Start off the fight Friday, Saturday we got another one. It's good stuff, man. I don't think that they're gonna affect each other negatively. It's like in business. If you have a shoe shop on one side of the street and you go open up another shoe shop on the other side, you might think that that's gonna slow down your business, but what that actually does is it creates competitiveness and actually rises the sales, and it actually helps your business. So it's okay to have a little competition every now and then. What else we got here? Tycho TV says only 5 milli is crazy. Yeah, brother. 5 milli on that. And then, you got taxes, and then you got fees that you have to pay, right? Whether or not you have manager fees, camp fees. There's just a lot that goes into it, man. And I can't promote enough to all these fighters, professionals, and even amateurs, that are looking to become professional. I just tell you guys, make sure you tap in with some good people. They know finances. Good tax guy, Shout out to True Tax Corp, right? And if you guys ever again want to know a little bit more about how to structure, hit me up on a DM or through comments or whatever. I'm more than willing to sit down with you guys for a meeting. And if I need to bring in the big guns, I'll bring in the big guns, right? I got good people around in my team in the tax company, enrolled agents, people that have been doing this forever, so good team out here. And 5 milli, we'll at least make sure that you keep that 5 milli, right? And then we'll do the right thing with that 5 milli, put it in the right places. You got to have investments, man. that money will fly out the window. That's what I always liked about PBC too and Al Heyman. I felt like PBC and Al Heyman always had a good financial plan for their fighters. It was just more than just the purse, you know. Shout out to Danny Swift Garcia. You know, did a ton of, you know, made a good money in the boxing game. Got a ton of investments. Danny's doing good, bro. You know, this is what happens when you got good people around you. You're able to make the right investments. Real estate, you know, it's being one of them. But there's so many others. Creating cash flow businesses and doing the right thing to make sure your money's working for you, bro. Because even the real estate game gets a little tough, right? It's lifestyles, you know. Being a landlord is not as easy as you think. You know, a lot of people, you want to get rich like a real estate owner, but it's not as passive of an income as you might think, you know. There's incomes that are super passive, that are passive. It's a misconception with real estate. It's not passive. Somewhat can be passive, but, you know, depending on how much money you're making and how you're managing your properties. You know, I got a ton of advice on that too. Thankfully, I had the opportunity of meeting some good people in real estate. Shout out to my man Abdel Kawatmi from Prime Mortgage, probably number 1 or 2 in the country. Learned a lot from that guy. And from the team too, shout out to my boy John, True Tax Corp Prez. Learned a lot from the team out there. All right, Cut West says, yeah, owning a business or getting into real estate, you putting in hella upon hella hours. Yep. Hella hours, bro. Hella hours. Now there's ways to structure this to mitigate, you know, so you can get some of that time back. But that all comes down to, you know, what kind of real estate investor are you? How do you want to get into the real estate? Do you want to buy properties, mods? Do you want to buy just land? You can make money just off of buying pieces of land. Do you want to deal with the contractors and the contracting and the responsibilities? It's all lifestyle, you know, and how much time you have and willing to work. Obviously, you know, if you put yourself on a set course to own 5 houses within the next 6 years, you can do so. Rinse and repeat sort of situation. You guys can go and look into the Burr method and a couple other ways that you can get into the real estate game. But it's some work, man. And, you know, you don't always leave with a big slice of the pie. People are like, yeah, I'll buy a house and I'll rent it and I'll make money. Yeah. Make sure you got your figures figured out because it's not as easy as you think. And you listen, everything's math, bro. One thing I love juggling the numbers. It's all about the numbers. Trust me. It's a numbers game, just like everything else. But yeah, so I left off with Elise Soto and homegirl Krystal Rosado, young fighters under the Amanda Serrano banner, right? MVP. And just never happened before. Never happened before at the workouts. Sanctioned bouts at the workouts. It's crazy. Excuse me. What do we got here? And I think we covered as much as we could for this one. Maybe I'm wrong. Did I miss anything? I know we did the funny-ass interview with Mike Coppinger. Go check out that video. You want a good laugh? Go check out that video when we close out right now, bro. Shakur Stevenson and Mike Coppinger. That shit had me dying. I'm still dying. I'm still dying. Every time I see Coppinger's face shift over. Leave my man Coppinger alone, bro. You're trying to I think they're just messing with him too, man. Coppinger's okay. You know? I think somebody's just messing with him. He's been around for a minute, bro. He covers it. He covers the sport pretty well. Shout out to Mike. Shout out to Shakur. Shout out to Berlanga, Sheeraz. Shout out to women's boxing, right? We're having a hell of a weekend. Going to be enjoying fights on Friday and Saturdays. Looks like we're spoiled as of recent as boxing fans, man. You know, we're spoiled brats. Even when we're getting it, we're asking for more, complaining. But looking forward to tomorrow's fights. Make sure you tap in with us tomorrow for our preview and predictions, right? For the Amanda Serrano, Katie Taylor card. All women's card, which happens to be probably the best women's card ever in boxing history, right? And that's what they keep saying. And you know what? I guess I'll share this post from MVP promotions. Remember, this is on Netflix, y'all. This whole Netflix game has changed everything too, man. It's just more eyes on the sport, more than ever. We have a ton of new eyes. We got a TKO and the way they're handling certain things, right? It's just it's a new age. It's a new age we're living in boxing, and I hope that we appreciate what's happening, because it's happening. The start of it's happening in our time. MVP is set to break a Guinness World Record. Official attempt, right? Remember, this is set. Official attempt. The most world title belts on the line in history. Now, I don't know how many belts is this, or if this reflects the actual belts, but man, look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 3 plus 4, 7. 7 plus 5 is 12. 12 plus 5 is 17. 17 titles on the line. Says here, MVP Amanda Serrano and Katie Taylor have put together a record-breaking Guinness World Record-setting night of boxing this Friday from MSG. 2 unified championships and an unprecedented 3 undisputed championships all in one night. The most major sanctioning body, world titles on the line ever. Live on Netflix globally. Keep doing it. Shout out to Jake Paul. MVP. Chip. All right. See if I missed anybody else on the chatty patty. Guess we're going to leave it at that for now. Ladies, fellas, appreciate y'all. If you didn't tap that subscribe or like button, hit it on the way out, champions. You know what I'm saying? Be a gentleman or a lady. Help the program out. And, of course, man, you guys motivate me. The more I keep seeing these achievements and numbers move, the more I keep coming back. And, again, I'm trying to grow, trying to get it up there, trying to get into these press conferences, man, and ask some questions. You know, the Boxing Biz is going to be in there. So get me in there, y'all. Get me in there. Let me ask these questions, and let me take it. Let me take the people's questions right to the front doorstep of these fighters, managers, and promoters. And we'll get this these interviews going on here live too. So appreciate it again. Just checking to see if I missed anybody else. It appears I haven't. Again, guys, thank you for tuning in. Doomatron was activated.
Doomatron activated.
But it's time to go. Deactivation. Cheers.